I am super excited to share with you this recipe for double chocolate frozen mousse bars. It has a whole food plant-based crust, and the flavors and textures balance and complement each other so well. The tart cherry or raspberry with the sweet chocolate and the smoothness of the chocolate with the chunkiness of the fruit. It's just delicious. It's frozen, it's great for hot days or for Christmas with the red color in it. It just gives such nice, cozy vibes. So enjoy with me. This is one of my all-time favorites, closely rivaled by chocolate cheesecake that I will link for you. Alright, the first step is to make our crust. I'm going to be using half a cup of walnuts and 3/4 cup of pecans. You can also use almonds instead of pecans. I've done it that way before. Or you can use pine nuts. I haven't done it that way before, but I think it would work just fine, especially if you have an allergy to tree nuts. Now we're going to take 1.5 cups of Medjool Dates. Make sure to remove the stem and the seed. Make sure to pack the dates down to get all you can. The next ingredient is 1 cup of puffed millet, but I am using 1 cup of Rice Krispies because I am allergic to millet. If you use Rice Krispies, make sure to get the name brand or check the ingredients because I've found a lot of them have gluten in them. I guess Rice Krispies are cheating a little bit on that whole food aspect. So just do puffed millet for the healthier version. Let's get this thing mixed up. One more ingredient. I forgot to tell you about the carob powder. You can also use raw cocoa powder. This is raw carob powder. We need 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons, which is like half of a 1/4 cup, 2 tablespoons, half of a quarter. If I were using chocolate, I would use this, the Dutch processed unsweetened cocoa powder. Okay, here we go. Alright, there we go. You can see that it's starting to be able to be pressed together, but it is a little bit on the dry side, so I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of water. And this will vary based on how wet or dry your dates are, so blend it first before adding any water. This is a tablespoon. I'm just going to add about half of that for now, and then blend it again. Okay, you can see how this is much easier to press together. So that'll be good for what we want in our crust. Go ahead and pour it into a lined 9x13 dish. You can line your 9x13 dish with parchment paper or a silicone baking sheet. This makes it so the dessert is easy to pull out of the pan and move it to a cutting board after it's frozen. Go ahead and make sure this mixture is evenly spread, especially on the edges, before pushing it down. You can always move it around once you push it down, but it's just a little easier before. Alright, there we go. Beautiful. I'm gonna stick this in the freezer and we can start on our next step. Okay, now for the next step. We need 1.5 cups of dark chocolate. I've also made this with carob chips or chunks. This is the chocolate I'm using today. now we need 1 1/3 cups of coconut cream. Oftentimes in the store you can find coconut milk, but not coconut cream. If that is the case, just put it in the refrigerator and scoop the creamy part off of the top. I'm starting to be able to see the coconut water in here as well. You can see some more clear part over on the right side. That is the coconut water. We just want the cream, not the water. Okay. And then I have a can of coconut cream here. You can see how thick this coconut cream is. That is really the best. This is Savoy coconut cream. It's easy to find in Asian food stores. And I like this, that the ingredients are just coconut extract and water. Sometimes with coconut milk, they'll throw extra things in there. Same with this one, coconut extract and water. 1 1/3. This is also the same kind of coconut cream that I use for my vegan whipped topping, which is super quick and easy. I will link that. We'll just turn this on high and let that all melt together. I like to save the less creamy coconut to use in soups and curries. I will link one above. Meanwhile, I am going to melt some coconut oil in the microwave. We're going to drizzle this on top for a garnish. I've got some pretty hot chocolate here. I'm gonna go ahead and stir it just to make sure it gets melted evenly. By the way, you'll see I tried to get these flowers in like every shot today because I love them. They're from my garden and I've just been really enjoying growing the flowers that I want to grow. This is the first year where I've really focused on flowers in addition to fruits and vegetables. It's keeping on melting. Okay, this is looking great now. You can see how the color is homogeneous and there are no lumps. So let's get out our frozen crust and choose whatever frozen fruit you would like to put in this. I'm using raspberries today. I went ahead and turned off my burner and now I'm going to add 2/3 cup of raspberries to the mousse. These raspberries are from my garden. And I'm just going to evenly distribute those and coat them all. And now we're going to pour it into the crust. I'm going to make this even across the entire crust, separating some of those raspberry pieces. This is going to be so good. And now I'm going to drop some raspberries on the top for a beautiful touch. I'm curious, what are you making this for? Are you just making it for a nice summer dessert, or are you making it for some kind of event? I am curious. Please let me know in the comments below. Also, if there's anything else that you're trying to figure out how to make so that you can eat it even with allergies or whatever dietary considerations that you have, or that someone who you're cooking for has, just let me know what you want to learn how to make and I will do my best to get a recipe for you. Alright, let's stop there. That looks pretty nice and we'll put this back in the freezer, and once it's all frozen we'll get it out and drizzle that coconut on it. Alright, so now we have our frozen chocolate bar. Easy to pick up thanks to the silicone baking sheet or parchment paper. And we are going to transfer this onto our cutting board. Yum. Oh my. There's a piece I have to eat. Okay, and I'm going to cut it in triangles. or rather diamonds and triangles. Now you can either cut off the edge or include the edge in your cut. Oh, look at all these beautiful little diamonds and the triangle. Having a clean knife helps me make clean cuts. And on this edge, I'm gonna just cut it off. You can do this on the other side too, if you want to have really clean cuts on all your pieces. All right, now I'm gonna put the coconut oil. Wow, it's looking so pretty. So I just have to demo one of these for you. Wow. These are so good, you have to try them.